All right, and we are rolling. So welcome to Design Time, everybody. Christian here with you today. And today we're going to be talking about the text editor in Blackboard. Now, we've titled this particular segment as How to Make That Text Editor Behave. We have talked about the text editor before in our Design Time series, and we'll put a link to that video in the description below the YouTube video. So we've got a couple different things we want to talk about today. First of all is what is in the toolbar. So I'm in my Blackboard course, and I am looking at the text editor right here, and this is the toolbar. So for some of you who may be following along at home, if you see a very abridged version of the toolbar, over on the right-hand side, there's this little chevron-looking icon. If you click that, you'll get the larger version of the text editor toolbar, and some of those tools that we're going to be talking about today are in that section. So the first thing we want to talk about is the Erase Formatting button. And that's this little eraser-looking guy right here. So let's say I've got some text that I want to share with my students, and I'm copying that over from a website. In and of itself, it looks pretty good. But if I hit Submit, you'll notice that the font doesn't really match the rest of the font in my page. And two, if I hover over it, you see this weird little white highlighting going on behind the text. Now, I don't want that there. So for me to take that out easily and quickly, is I'm going to highlight all that text and then click the Erase Format. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm telling Blackboard, take out the source formatting and replace it with the formatting that I have built into the course already. So now if I click Submit, you'll notice that the font is now matching the rest of the font that I have in my course, and now that weird looking little white highlight going on in the back is no longer there. So it's a little more visually appealing. Okay. The next thing we want to talk about is hyperlinks, and we've talked about hyperlinks before, but I want to give you a little tidbit. So there's a hyperlink that already copied over with this text from my source, but I want it to behave a little bit differently. If I were to click this hyperlink now, it's going to open up in the same window, meaning the Blackboard course window is going to be replaced with the page that I'm directing my students to. So if I highlight that and come over here to the link unlink, I can click this little break link button or remove link, and then I'm going to re-highlight that section of text, click the link button, put in where I want this to lead to, but then I'm also going to change the target, and this is really where the tidbit comes in. Right now we said it's going to replace the same window with the new link. I want to change that to opening it up in a new window. That way, if I've got some instructions here and I want the students to be able to see my instructions and look at this other page kind of in tandem, it'll pull it up in a new window rather than replacing the current window that they are in. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is using tables to format up your text just to make it a little bit more visually appealing. So let's say I want to put in a picture of what this first paragraph is talking about. So I'll click on my picture icon, I'll go to my computer, and we'll say it's talking about this little bad guy here, and I'm going to put that into the image. There we go. But as you notice right off the bat, it doesn't look quite right. The bad guy's there, but it's not juxtaposed to the entire paragraph. It's just on that first line. So in order to combat that, I'm going to take that picture and cut it. So I'm going to do Control X. And I'm going to put in a table here instead. Now I'm going to do 2 columns with 1 row. Click Insert, and in that first column, I'm going to paste the little picture of the bad guy there, and then I'm going to take the text that's associated with that image, cut it, go into the second row, or the second column of that table, and paste it, and then click Submit. Immediately, it looks a little bit better. Now, I could size up that picture a little nicer to make it fit better, but at least now I've got the image and then the text associated with that image to the right. So again, a little bit more visually appealing. Okay, so now the last thing I want to talk about is the HTML editor. Now I'm going to take this table out, and we've got these 2 paragraphs here. Now sometimes when you are copying text maybe from a website or from a Word document, weird spaces show up, and sometimes they're hard to explain, and no matter how many times you come back in here and you go backspace and enter, or backspace and shift enter, this weird space will show up. Now what's happening there is there's some code in the background that you're not seeing, that's causing that extra space to occur. Now, in this instance, I purposely put in this extra space here to kind of simulate what we're talking about. But if I go to the HTML code editor, that's this little button down here, I'm going to see that there's a page break after that, that sentence and before the new paragraph. So if I highlight those little page breaks there, click delete, and then manually put in my paragraph by clicking enter or by doing this symbol here, and then clicking update, it's more visually appealing. It looks nicer. Now, I am not an HTML code expert at all, and I'm sure that some of you out there are not an expert in HTML code either. However, if you Google different HTML code helps, like for example, I have an extra space in my paragraph and I don't know why it's there. How do I take it out using HTML? Google is pretty good about giving you some results to find those problem spots and then to fix them. Okay, so those are the main points that we wanted to talk about in this episode. Now, you notice that our episode has only run about 6 minutes, and we're going to start shortening our WebEx design time episodes just to make it easier for you guys, because we want to be respectful of your time, and we're going to be trying to get to the point very quickly so that you can move on with your day. So our next design time is going to be on December the 7th, and that is going to be using WebEx for online lectures. It's going to be a great topic. We encourage you to join us, and it'll be myself and Chris leading that particular WebEx. So next time, WebEx for online lectures, and until then, reach out to CETIS Help if you have any questions, and we'd be happy to support you any way we can. Take care. Thank you.